think what I'll try and do is raise my voice so the microphone picks everything up. So if it comes across as I'm shouting, it's because I am. As I said, we're in La Gomera. We caught the ferry from Tenerife yesterday to... No, we caught the ferry from Gran Canaria to Tenerife. Then we had to hop across to the other side of the island to Los Cristianos to catch the ferry to La Gomera. The plan is we are going to spend the day here, and at 8 o'clock tonight we've got another ferry to La Palma, and we've got 2 days there, so which should be really nice. So Martin's on the hunt for a cafe where we can have some breakfast. It's a lot quieter island than, or it appears a lot quieter island, as a spa shop, than Tenerife or Gran Canaria or the other islands, it being a lot smaller. I don't know whether to sort of say or suggest it might be better than those if you want a quiet holiday. But the scenery and the roads are a match for any of the others, I think. The cost of getting here is a lot more because you've got ferry charges and that, so they are quite expensive. So but I think once you fell in love with the place, you just put a bit more overtime in it work, don't you? And save your pennies. Lovely bit of coastline. The sea last night was a lot rougher, but I think that's normal, is it? Early part of the day it's sort of calm, isn't it? As you can see, it's typical Canary weather, cloudless skies-ish. Anyway, we're riding round La Gomera, and I just thought we'd film this little bit to show you some of the landscape and whatever. Some really twisty bends here, great biking roads. We've just been quite high up, actually through the clouds, so it got quite foggy, and Martin's decided to come downhill now and to find the sun, so which he seems to have done. La Gomera is very similar to Gran Canaria, but also similar to Tenerife. That's probably a cross between the two, really. I'm riding a 500 Honda, and Martin's riding a NC 750 Honda. Something tells me he likes Hondas. I don't know whether the camera's positioned on the crash helmet in its best position, but hopefully I've got another sticky pad that I can change that. That's one of the water reservoirs that they have out these parts. Looks a bit dry. Quite windy up here at the minute, but I'm sure as we go further down then it'll become less. There's a shop there called Ferreteria. I wonder if they sell ferrets. better. A tunnel. Oh, a bit longer than the other one. Like I said before, it's quite a few of these tunnels. These roads that we're on, it's really good tarmac, you know, you can really get speed on round the bends. I don't think you'd find any better even on a racetrack, so we have a lot of fun, Martin and myself, when it's just us. He's taking his time at the minute, but we have our moments, you know, where the roads are clear and we can have a bit of fun around the bends. Anyway, what we're doing now is going across the top of the island to San Sebastian, where we're going to catch the ferry from. But we're going to do it a long way, so as we're not back to the ferry port earlier than we really need to be. Okay, so I've just noticed we're coming up to the coast, so put the camera on and let you have a look what I see. You can see what I see, maybe, or I don't mind if we're going over the top. I doubt you will. No, you won't. I don't know if you can spot it, but the cloud is just whooshing up the side of this mountain. We was here a few seconds ago and you couldn't see any of this, but then it clears and there's another bit will probably come along. Lovely landscape. Right, onward and upward. See the clouds being forced upwards by the wind, and although it's not windy, it don't appear to be anyway. Anyway, welcome to the Lagomera MotoGP, and we're with the leaders, Flint and Commons. Fighting a tough duel to get to the finishing line first. Unfortunately, they've come up to a tail ender, and I don't think the tail ender knows that they're there. And Flint outbreaks Commons into the right-hander here, and Commons is trying all his best to get alongside, but unfortunately not. He's going to stay in his slipstream and still the last few bends, and then he'll probably dive through and eventually take the lead. But Flint, as a very hard man on the brakes, it's very unlikely that Commons will be able to get by. Anyway, the tail ender is still doesn't know that Flint and Commons are behind him, and seems to sort of refuse to move over. They ought to blue flag him really and let him know. And he's braking now for the right-hander. Flint follows, Commons next. Now then, can Commons get by Flint here? Can he outbrake him on the bend? No, he can't. He's tried and tried again, but Flint's just too good. So anyway, we're on the straight bit now, and Commons is stuck in the slipstream of Flint and hoping to get by him at some stage. Just gone by him harder now, and Flint still in the lead. Commons in his slipstream, and the back marker just doesn't want to move over. So we're going down this road about 200 miles an hour, and the back marker is still not moving over, but Flint's in his slipstream ready to take him at the first opportunity. Flint's just pointed out a donkey to Commons. I don't know what that was a gesture of. Maybe calling him an ass for trying to overtake him, I don't know. So it's still Flint leading Commons on the Lagomera MotoGP. Hard braking now into the tight right-hander, dropping down to Malibu Beach. Flint brakes hard here for the S's and accelerates. Smoke coming off his back tyre as he endeavours to stay ahead of Commons. As we come into another tight right-hander, Flint throws his bike into the right-hander and Commons is right up his arse. He thinks he can shake Commons off, he's got another thing coming. The two are stuck together like joined at the hip. Flint's throwing his bike into every bend that it's thrown at him. That didn't make a lot of sense, I know. Can Commons squeeze by? No! and Flint wins the Lagomera GP. Hurrah! Well, I hope you enjoyed this fascinating race. Flint and Commons are just going down to the paddock now to receive the trophies. And squirt champagne over each other. Oh, it seems a busier place. Probably a little more nightlife for those that are looking for a bit of that. I would imagine that this is the capital of Lagomera, maybe. Hey, excuse me. Aha. Yep. Right gang, we've just left our hotel, our apartment, and we're on La Palma now. We're just going to explore the island. So I'll leave this on a few minutes and then try and pick up just the hot spots or the more popular places. Not that this is not popular, it looks really lovely, but it's lovely. I've had a good night's sleep. The apartment's really nice. And the island itself is was pretty dark when we got here last night. It's 12 o'clock. So this is the first we're going to be seeing of it. Loads of banana trees if you can spot them. Had some lovely canary potatoes yesterday for dinner, or lunch, is that the posh word? Lunch, we had lunch. And oh, they tasted amazing. They're in this sort of red garlicky sauce, so my breath did stink a bit. Anyway, Martin's been studying his map and he's decided to go south as much along the coast road as possible. And then we're going to cut through the middle later on in the day and hopefully, if there's enough time, get to one of the corners of the island that we're likely to miss. They're constantly improving the roads here and everywhere else on the Canaries. Sometimes you go through a bumpy patch, but generally it's lovely smooth tarmac. Obviously the coast roads are sort of more looked after than the mountain roads that we're on now, but they're still not bad. Every island, I was talking to Martin, and they've all got their own quirky differences, which is nice. We went through a woodland yesterday on Canaries. I forgot where I'd been, and I'd never seen woodland like it. You know, it was truly amazing. There's a lot of volcanic rock about, because I think it was a volcano at one time, wasn't it? So a lot of the beaches are sort of black sand, if you like, and a lot of the walls are made of chunks of volcanic lava. I don't know how high the highest point is, but we're certainly nowhere near that yet. Whether we will or not, I don't know. As I say, it's the first time on La Palma for Martin and myself, so he's as new to him as it is to me. I normally drink just bottled water when I'm in the Canary Islands, but apparently the tap water now is quite clean and drinkable. I had quite a lot of the tap water yesterday and I'm fine, so apparently we were told that a lot of the water comes from the mountains as well. They've got, they call it desalination plants and stuff, so they take the salt out the seawater and make it drinkable. That's strange looking construction down there. Oh Marty, where you going? Oh well, he's not stopping with the look of it. So we've had a look. So we're on now to the next place, the next port of call, I'd imagine. We're at a tunnel. We're at a tunnel now. Now this is a really old-fashioned one, probably built centuries ago. We've just come through one, and there was actually a stream what seemed running through it. The surface is really rough, and but it was fun. So anyway, rather than go back and show you the one that we've just been through, we'll just carry on and show you this one. It's amazing, isn't it? It's all built of probably dug out by hand years ago. But lovely woodland. This is like the woodland I was telling you about on La Gomera. Anyway, here we go. Pitch black inside. Oh, it's not as bad as the other one. It had actually got a stream running through it. There was all sorts of debris on the floor. Small stones, pebbles, a stream. Amazing. There we go. I could not have filmed that, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Alright, we'll try and catch Martin up. We're on some back roads now, so God knows where we're going to lead to. Very interesting island though. This is well off the beaten track. Oh, here's another tunnel. Amazing. Oh, it's only a short one. You can't see, I mean, if there's anything in the road, you wouldn't see it. Fantastic. I've not seen anything like that ever. I dare say there'll be another one as well. This is a single track road, as you can see, so you've got to have your wits about you riding these things. Obviously if there's a car coming the other way, you just got to be prepared. I don't think you're likely to meet a bus. But then again, it is Spain. We just come round a left-hand bend a few miles back, and there was just a barrier. We just come round this right hand bend, there was a barrier making you go right, but it was actually just after the bend, so Martin slammed his anchors on. Luckily I don't sort of ride directly behind him, I stick to one side or the other, and we were both looking at changing our underpants straight away. But we'll look back on it and have a laugh, I suppose. Like I said earlier, all the islands seem to have their own identity. La Palma certainly has, you know. Well, here we are at the docks in La Palma. It's 4:30 in the morning, and Martin's had his seasick tablets, as he's not a good traveller. But the ship's in dock, and if you look closely, it's rocking like hell now. So it'll probably rock a little bit more when we're on the high seas. Some poor buggers broke down in the front of the ferry queue. Is having to be towed away. Anyway, can you see it rocking? And it's actually in dock. I shouldn't laugh, should I? Anyway, he took a couple of tablets, so touch wood, he might be okay. I think he's going to steer away from a greasy breakfast. Well, here we are, gang. We're just approaching Los Cristianos on Tenerife. We're going to go over the top of Mount Tidy, and then down to Santa Cruz to catch the ferry back to Gran Canaria. Martin's flat out, he don't travel very well, but it's like a duck pond. Right, gang, we're just on our way up to Mount Tidy in Tenerife. We had a good ferry crossing. Martin didn't feel bad at all. He had a couple of these tablets and fell asleep, so happy days. It's a little way to Tidy, but I'll just leave the camera running, and you'll be able to pick some of the scenery up and one thing and another. It's quite cool at the moment. It's fairly early in the day. I don't know, let's have a look, 9:25, so the sun's not warmed anything up yet, including me, so when I say shiver me timbers, I do mean it. No, it's not too bad. The road up to Tidy, well this bit anyway, is the same quality that I would have thought you get round Donington Park. And it really is good stuff. There's a lot of strange flowers, plants and stuff up here as well, that only grow up here. You can't take a snippet and grow it at home, it just don't happen, apparently. Well, you probably would if you had the right conditions. We're still way above cloud level, and yeah, and it'll take a good few minutes before we get down to sea level. Probably could be half an hour, That's just descending. I I have a rolling record of 12 mile. That's taking the bike out of gear and rolling, and the furthest I've ever done is 12 mile on Gran Canaria. It's a silly thing and a childish thing, I know, but I think here you might be able to beat it, but I'm not going to try because we need to get on. I've already got 12 miles pretty good, you know. Had we I've got lots more time, I'm sure that record could be beaten. Well, not my record anyway. I'd like to try it one day. My dad used to do it with me when I was a little kid, and we were going down the hill in his van and he'd knock it out of gear. I used to think it was great to roll, you know. Think of the fuel you save as well. But I seriously think you could, you know, beat that record. The only thing that screws you is when generally the road's going down, but you can actually go to a bit where it's raised, as in if we'd have gone up there, you see, raised, it could have slowed you down to yeah, it would have done. And this certainly would, look. You wouldn't get to the top of this, so no, I'm quite happy with my 12 mile. Still way above the clouds, look. There's another mountain across there sticking its nose out the clouds, if you can see it. I've turned my head as much as I dare. I don't know where it is. Could be Gran Canaria, or I thought it might be. Can you see it? There you go. Not going to risk any more. There's tidy. Pardon me. I think we stopped here on this lay-by with the Carol and Richard a few times ago. Coming the other way. This is normally the way we come up. We're going down the way we normally come up now. Ooh, there's a smell of pine wood, very strong. It's nice smell. I've lifted my visor up. I can't, there's that much drizzle on it. Even though I wipe it, you can't see through it very easily. So can feel the mist, the drizzle on your face, on your bare skin, slightly. It won't last for long, we'll soon come out the other side. Sooner the better. Yeah, it is, it's sort of fine drizzle, moisture within the cloud that we're passing through. So it's not nice to ride through, but won't be long before we're out of it. Does smell nice. Right, 9:50, 10:50, 11 o'clock. Now my thoughts are, Martin will either stop for coffee soon and have a walk, or he'll carry on to Santa Cruz and we chill out there for a bit. Have some lunch. Like I was saying, oh no, it's raining here now. It's not a lot, but it's raining. Well, we're back home, gang. That's it. I'm back where I started from. I'm in Martin and Joy's apartment. Just looking at a pair of scuba divers or snorkelers. Sea's beautiful. This is a view from their apartment terrace, veranda. As you can see, there's quite a few people in the sea and a few people snorkeling. That out at sea is a fish farm, and you can actually watch planes. When the planes take off, they take off over that hill over there, and you get a good view of it. So that's it. I've had a cracking few days holiday. I've done the 2 islands that I wanted to do, and plus Tenerife again, and a fair old bit of Gran Canaria. So I've got one more to do, El Hierro I believe it's called, and hopefully I'll come back around September, October time to do that. There you go. If you want a biking holiday, motorbiking experience, this really is the place to come with Canary Motorcycle Tours. Thank you very much and goodbye.